Hello and welcome. Related to the topic of global reference frames, I'm very happy to welcome Professor Zuheir Altamimi as our expert of the week. Zuheir, can you tell us a little bit about your background and what brought you into earth sciences?
Well, thank you very much, Thomas, for this invitation. I am happy to make this interview. I am a research director at IGN France. I received my PhD in space geodesy in 1990, so a long time ago, and my habilitation in 2006. Immediately after I received my engineer diploma in geographic sciences in 1982, I was fascinated by geodesy, actually. Geodesy, that is the science that quantifies Earth changes in space and time. And more specifically, I was attracted by studying reference frame and combination of space geodesy techniques.
So I know that you're dedicating a lot of your time to global terrestrial reference frames. Can you tell us a little bit about this really important service to society?
Yeah, you know better than me that reference frames are very important to society, but also to science. So, for instance, in addition to precise orbit determinations for all Earth science satellite missions, the reference frame and mainly what we call the long-term secular frame underpins almost all geophysical processes that impact our Earth system, sea level rise and its variations in space and time, tectonic motion, dislocations, and post-seismic deformation due to earthquakes, earth rotation, etc. So the reference frame is also needed for positioning and navigation in ocean, land, air, and space, tsunami warning, natural hazard, rescue, and safety of life. So you can see that the society in general is using the reference frame, but without knowing it. So we need to develop actually outreach programs to make the reference frame more visible to society.
So, but sometimes, for example, the effects of global change and its impact, for example, sea level rise, are very tiny. So, do the current reference frames provide us the accuracy, or do we need better for such applications?
I think your question, you know the answer, but I will add more about that because we need to refine the reference frame. And keep in mind that the main reference frame physical parameters that are critical for global change processes, such as sea level rise, are the long-term origin and scale. Uh, Although this kind of reasoning is a little bit technical, but we need a reference frame for these parameters, for these physical parameters to be accurate at the level of 0.1 millimeter per year. So it's very challenging. Unfortunately, an improvement by a factor of 5 at least is needed, as indicated by the IHRF 2014, which is the new frame that will be published very soon. So these results indicated that we need an improvement by a factor of 5 at least. Such an improvement requires, as you know, before anything, a new generation of satellite laser ranging and VLBI instrument with an improved coverage, of course, between north and south.
So, new instruments, new investments. I assume this also requires that stakeholders need to be convinced that such investments into genetic infrastructure are valuable to society.
Yes, definitely. You are very right. Investment in geodetic infrastructure are not only valuable to society, but also to science and have also economic benefit. That's why we, the geodetic community, says the opportunity offered by the United Nations initiative that you might hear about it, that initiative called Global Geospatial Information Management, and we drafted a text resolution on the Global Geodetic Reference Frame for Sustainable Development that was actually, and we are happy for that, unanimously adopted by the General Assembly of the United Nations. And that process within the United Nations and all the activities related to that took about 2 years for us, during which we had to raise